Hello there, good evening. Trust your day has been good. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the English News Bulletin. Let's begin with the headlines. In all districts of the country, RPF Inkotanyi party members have continued with their primaries ahead of the July presidential and parliamentary elections. Over 1 billion people worldwide, including Rwanda, grapple with obesity, a pressing health concern. On the international scene, French-Senegalese filmmaker Mati Diop's documentary, Dohame, won the Best Film Award, the top prize at the Berlin Film Festival. Glad to have your company tonight. Now to the news in details. My name is Olive Nete. Some history teachers emphasize the significance of receiving specialized training in their field, and they assert that such trainings is crucial for effectively imparting higher education to students by aligning with the national vision of fostering youth who are committed to building peaceful families. We have the details. Some history teachers recently participated in a 3-day training program focused on preventing genocide and fostering peace building.
When we get an opportunity to receive such training, it improves our knowledge and we get to understand deeply about the genocide. Through this training, we also got the opportunity to know in details about the Holocaust, and this helps us to share the knowledge to students with confidence. We also got an opportunity to find a better way to teach students about the genocide because we have different guides, and I truly believe that we will be able to provide the knowledge appropriately to students.
Bityo gutanga isomo ry'amateka kugeza ubu numva tuzaritanga twifitiye icyizere.
Aya mahugurwa adufasha mu kongera ubumenyi dufite.
They recognize the significance of this training in equipping them with the necessary skills to effectively convey such crucial knowledge to students in schools. Munyentwari Alphonse, the country director of Aegis Trust, an international organization dedicated to preventing genocide and mass atrocities, emphasizes that now it is the optimal time to impart this crucial knowledge to students. He believes that by instilling these teachings in schools, future generations will be equipped to contribute to a more peaceful world.
It is good to teach and instill in children the culture of peace and also to prevent genocide and other atrocities. There is a need to teach them when they are still young that they ought to fight it, and that is why this project is essential, so that children can be well taught and also grow up respecting and valuing others by understanding that they ought to protect each other instead of harming each other, and they have to understand the importance of preventing genocide.
kurusha kuba bahungabanywa mu burenganzira bwabo ariko cyane cyane kubijyanye no gukumira genocide.
The German ambassador to Rwanda, Heik Utadetman, highlights the crucial importance of teaching the history of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda and the Holocaust accurately and responsibly. She believes that teachers bear the significant responsibility of imparting this knowledge in a manner that can positively impact people's lives.
Educators have a huge responsibility for the next generation and for the young people. So it goes beyond the families, beyond the parents. Teachers are key actors, and if teachers know more about genocide against the Tutsi, more about Holocaust in Germany, and more about the genocides that have been committed all over the world, they will be able and fit to do something and to change maybe people's lives.
Aegis Trust, an international organization dedicated to preventing genocide and mass atrocities, emphasizes its ongoing commitment to training teachers. This effort aims to support the country in fostering peace, promoting core values, and preventing genocide and its associated ideologies, particularly among young people. To more news, in all districts of the country, RPF Inkotanyi party members have continued with their primaries ahead of the July presidential and parliamentary elections. The members commend the role their party has played in Rwanda's development in the last 30 years and note that the primaries are a strong indication of democracy. Serge Honore with details.
With the primaries to ultimately decide who will be the party's candidates in the presidential elections, as well as those who will vie for seats for the party in parliament, Those who voted at the district level in the primaries on Sunday say they understand the seriousness of the decisions that they are making as voters. To understand the significance of the Ndi Umunyarwanda initiative to Rwandans, you must look at where we came from, because there was a time when it seemed like Rwanda no longer existed. Recognizing that significance is also looking at where we are now, how Rwandans live in harmony, working together for the continued development of the country.
The sort of leader we want in the years ahead is one who is responsible, accountable, who has a vision for the future and makes projections as to where the country should be in the time to come.
Indeed, the members are keen not to put forward a candidate they feel will not be capable. The candidate we are putting forward is one who is capable, with great experience and achievements in the last 30 years since the genocide against the Tutsi was halted, and he played a key role in that. He also led the liberation struggle and the struggle to develop that followed. Because of the way he put Rwanda back on the international map, we honestly do not see a reason why we should have him replaced when he is still able to lead us. They all see him as their candidate, and none can stand up to his experience and achievements. That is the reason they say that they want President Paul Kagame. The party's top leaders, however, have stressed that any member reserves the right to stand for election, and that ultimately it will be up to the party as a whole to decide who its candidate will be. Any party member has a right to stand for election or to be put forward by another member. So we would be denying everyone that right if we were to take the consideration of the chairman only without following the usual process. You know that we have close to 15,000 settlements, so there is no way we cannot find at least one other person with the confidence to stand for election. Those that have been elected in these primaries at this latest level will now undergo final selection and approval for those looking to vie for parliamentary seats on behalf of the party, while Wednesday will see the primaries continue at the provincial level and Kigali City for those looking to become the RPF candidate in the presidential elections. On Saturday, the 9th of this month of March, the party will hold its National Congress, where the presidential candidate will be nominated and the parliamentary candidates will also be announced.
Thank you, Serge. For the details now to health matters, the HIV infection rate among children infected by their parents in Rwanda has decreased to 1.3% due to the prevention program. Children born to HIV-positive parents are tested at the age of 2 and found to be HIV negative. We have details on the story. Healthcare professionals emphasize that while HIV can be transmitted from a mother to her child during pregnancy, delivery, or breastfeeding, the implementation of a program initiated in 2010 has been effective in preventing such transmissions. This program revolves around HIV-positive mothers adhering to antiretroviral drugs regimens consistently. Additionally, during pregnancy, these mothers receive specialized monitoring and care, which continues until the child reaches the age of 2. Muragijimana Esperance, a resident of Nyagasambu in Rwamagana district, shares her experience after her first child was born at home with HIV/AIDS 6 years ago. She is now determined to protect her second child, who is approaching the age of 2, by following the protocols established by the program. After checking him up for the first time since I gave birth at home, because I wasn't able to give birth at the hospital, he was born with the disease and he started medication since birth. But the second born, I was able to come for checkups on time and he was born normal with the help of doctors. I always come on time for checkups and for the appointments to protect my children so that even the one with the disease can still live with a healthy life. Taking drugs helps us to remain healthy. Staff members at the ARV Service Department of Nyagasambu Health Center, where Muragijimana receives her medication, report that there are currently 78 children under the age of 2 enrolled in a program specifically designed to prevent them from acquiring the HIV. Additionally, there are 23 children under the age of 15 who are receiving antiretroviral drugs after completing HIV from their parents. Notably, there hasn't been a case of a child born with HIV from an HIV-positive mother in the past 5 years, signifying the effectiveness of the prevention program. However, Safari Jean, the nurse in charge of the ARV service at the health center, acknowledged that despite the progress made, There are still ongoing challenges that need to be addressed in combating HIV/AIDS transmission and providing care to affected individuals.
We have a challenge of people come late for checkups, and that may lead to problems such as transmitting the virus to children because they delayed to take the drugs. Sometimes they start taking medications when they're at 8 months of pregnancy, or sometimes they start medication when they're in the maternity ward already.
At the Remera Health Center in Gasabo District, a significant number of individuals, totaling 3,944, are currently undergoing antiretroviral treatment. Remarkably, 96% of them adhere to their medication regimen as prescribed, resulting in a reduction of viral load in their blood. Ruvuzandekwe Fanuel, overseeing the ARV service at the health center, highlights that among those receiving treatment, there are over 300 parents enrolled in a program aimed at safeguarding their children from HIV transmission. He emphasizes the importance of parental understanding regarding the significance of protecting their children from HIV.
When a child contracts HIV through his parent because the parent didn't care enough to protect him against it, nowadays young people do not understand the importance of appropriately taking the drugs, and they may find them not abiding to come and take the medicines at the hospital, and sometimes we find children and parents in conflicts because children don't get the idea of taking medications. Let's say if there are like 4 children in the house and one only takes the medicine, they always wonder why them. That is why sometimes they don't abide by coming to the hospital to take drugs. That is why we urge parents to come for antenatal care and also follow all the rules of the doctor to avoid transmitting the disease to their children.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Sabin Sanzimana, highlights that in the battle to fight against HIV/AIDS, the most pronounced challenge is observed among young people aged between 15 and 24 years old.
Most young people between that age are the ones with the high rate of infection. Some people say they contracted it when it was not spoken that much, and that they didn't get to know the seriousness of the disease. The virus is mostly seen in children who are sexually active. They start doing it just like that, and they end in prostitution, and that's where HIV/AIDS cases rate is still high. And nowadays, we are increasing awareness campaigns and also see how with other institutions and youth centers we can educate them more about HIV.
Rwanda has successfully surpassed the global goal of reducing the rate of children infected by their parents to less than 2%, as the current rate stands at 1.3%. The Ministry of Health has set an ambitious target of ensuring that no child contracts HIV transmitted from their mother. Still speaking about health matters, over 1 billion people worldwide, including Rwanda, grapple with obesity, a pressing health concern. Health experts note that globally, obesity stands as the primary cause of non-communicable diseases, claiming the lives of over 17 million individuals annually, including Rwandans. We have details. At the age of 25, Uwaseka Richezi Yvette weighs 176 kilograms. She decided to lose 100 kg through exercise and diet.
And being there outside, having like 176 kgs is really a big problem. The expression that the society actually have for us, it's really not good. So I hoped with Slim and Fit that I will reduce my weight.
World Obesity Day is observed every year, March 4th. Florence Uwamwezi, the founder of Mission Slim and Fit, reflects on their journey. Starting with just 4 members over the course of 4 years, the group has grown to include 200 people. Florence herself serves as a testament to the group's success, having lost over 35 kilograms.
We've been running it for the last 4 years, but the results are amazing. We saw ladies come in the program with 200 kilograms, 150 kilograms, but in the middle of the program, we've seen them lose up to 30 kilograms, 40 kilograms, 50 kilograms. It's basically a life-transforming program, yeah. Number one, it's a fight against non-communicable diseases. So in the process of doing what we are doing, actually we are mitigating the factors of NCDs.
In Rwanda, Non-communicable diseases, with obesity as a significant contributor, account for 45% of all deaths in the country. Obesity is linked to various health complications such as heart disease, hypertension, high blood sugar and stroke. During the Car-Free Day event held on the 4th February, the Minister of Health, Dr. Sabin Nsanzimana, highlighted that preventing obesity doesn't demand extensive resources.
Preventing non-communicable diseases doesn't require much since it's something done personally. It is determined by someone's behavior. That is why in our awareness campaigns we say that when you properly take care of yourself, from morning until you go to bed in the evening, that determines or helps you in fighting non-communicable diseases, even those who already contracted them. They are urged to do sports and also take care of themselves by reducing what can make the disease worse. But also young people need to develop a habit of doing sports, habits of reducing alcohol intake and other drugs. Apart from that, there are also things done at the hospital level. But when someone gets to that level, they are already sick. And our wish is for people to be healthy or to get to the hospital at the earliest possible time for checkups so that they can be monitored and taken care of on time.
A recent 2022 study conducted by the Rwanda Biomedical Center revealed that 5 out of every 100 individuals were obese. Notably, Kigali emerged as the city with the highest prevalence, with 34% of its population at risk of obesity. Nutritionist Anastasia Mkakayumba explores potential causes that may lead to obesity. Excess intake of food that the body does not need can lead to obesity, and unstable mental health can also lead to excess consumption of food, and then by that time the brain does what we call compensation mechanism. When the brain does it, it is like switching and you feel like eating, and when you do so, you seem like forgetting your problems for a while and eat much. It can also be caused by some medication that a person may be taking, which leads a person to be very hungry. We do not tell people to stop medication, but instead they can work with nutritionists and know what kind of food they need to consume to ensure that they stay healthy. According to statistics from the World Health Organization, there are currently 1 billion people worldwide who are obese. Without intervention, this number is projected to potentially rise to 1.7 billion by 2025, including 39 million children. Still on health matters, figures from the Rwanda Biomedical Center have confirmed that malaria cases in the country have reduced by as much as 90% in the last 7 years. Local residents in districts that were prone to the most malaria cases are now happy about the fact that even health workers are able to treat the illness, meaning people no longer become seriously ill in their homes, even when they are unable to go to hospitals. We have details.
At the height of infections, malaria was most prevalent in Rwanda's eastern, southern and western provinces, especially in areas close to water bodies like lakes, as well as marshlands and other forms of stagnant water.
I contracted malaria along with my kids 3 times in the past. I had a fever and a terrible headache. All my joints also hurt quite badly.
Unfortunately, Rose's experiences were in no way unique.
My family members got it in 2023, my husband and the children. I went to the health worker, however, and was given assistance.
In order to reduce malaria cases in the country, the government began an aggressive strategy in 1997, providing mosquito nets sprayed with pesticides every 2 to 3 years, and in 2007, homes began to be sprayed in order to kill mosquitoes, while local residents were urged to get rid of things like potholes near their homes because of the water that stagnates in them when it rains, providing the perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes. Health workers, however, remain by far the most effective at fighting the disease. I can say that health workers played an important role, and they still do. Because of them, people no longer have to queue at health centers and hospitals to get treated for malaria. Close to 60% of all malaria patients in the country are treated by health workers. Rwanda currently has 60,000 health workers, half of them qualified to treat malaria. Before 2016, they were trained to treat only children below the age of 5. But as the disease continued on its rampage, the need to train them to treat all people in all age groups was recognized, with those unable to afford treatment receiving it free. Challenges in the fight against malaria still existed, however, especially in the way some people misused mosquito nets And again, health workers were called upon to train people on their proper use. Figures from the Rwanda Biomedical Center show that in 2016, as many as 5 million people in Rwanda contracted malaria, or 400 in every 1,000 people. 3.5 million of those people lived in 12 districts in the country, 7 of those districts in the eastern province and the remaining 5 in the south. 17,000 became seriously ill and 560 died. 7 years later, in 2023, only 550,000 cases of malaria were recorded, a reduction of up to 90%. Deaths fell to 51, a reduction of 91%, while serious cases reduced to 1,300. Among measures to fight the disease include spraying marshlands, and concerns have been raised over what is being used to kill mosquito eggs and what sort of repercussions this may have on the environment and by extension people. But officials at RBC have given assurances that no artificial chemicals are being used because naturally occurring microbes are being deployed to destroy the eggs before they mature. Last year, the World Health Organization approved the use of the R21 matrix virus against malaria as efforts against the disease continue. The World Health Organization has also reported that in 2022, as many as 249 million people worldwide contracted malaria, with 608,000 dying from it.
Thank you, Serge, for the details. Now, this evening at Kigali Convention Center, the Ministry of Environment is hosting a gala dinner for the board members of the Green Climate Fund who are in Kigali for the 38th meeting of the board that is scheduled to kick off on Monday. Our colleague Adam Squizera shares with us insights about this gala dinner as well as the meeting that will kick off tomorrow.
Thank you, Olive. As you said, currently we are at Kigali Convention Center where the Ministry of Environment is hosting a gala dinner of the high-level officials who attended the 30th meeting of the Green Climate Fund board members meeting, of course, that is scheduled to take place on, to kick off on Monday, 4th to 7th March, of course, of this year, 2024. This is the first time this board members meeting is going to take place in Africa and as well as in Rwanda, such as more on what you can know about this Green Climate Fund is that it's a great partner with the government of Rwanda in various projects that is related to environmental conservation like Green Amayaga and Green Gicumbi. Thank you for this time, and we'll follow up on this event. More details to be shared on our various platforms as well as in our news, other news bulletins that is going to follow. I'm Adam Squizera reporting live at Kigali Convention Center.
And the story sums up tonight's edition, but before we leave, a quick reminder of our top stories. In all districts of the country, RPF Inkotanyi party members have continued with their primaries ahead of the July presidential and parliamentary elections. Over 1 billion people worldwide, including Rwanda, grapple with obesity, a pressing health concern. On the international scene, French-Senegalese filmmaker Mati Diop's documentary, Dahomey, won the Best Film Award, the top prize at the Berlin Film Festival. And on behalf of the technical team and the news production team, thank you for being part of our news today. Have a fruitful week ahead. Take care and goodbye.